Okay, I would like to talk about how we were both abused for 30 years by David, your ex-husband. Um, so you want to talk about how he strangled me and how I got that charge put on me? How he lied in court?
Okay. Because it began when there was an argument, and
I had a mental break from the abuse. Because a person can only tolerate so much abuse. Like when you're disabled, you can't just get a job and leave your abuser. When you're disabled, you're stuck with your abuser.
yes,
And when he controls the housing, controls the money, controls everything, controls your complete say, whether you live, die, whether you eat, or anything, just on the whims of a madman.
yeah,
And so I had a mental break and I was taunting him in the hallway. And I wasn't going to do anything. I was just taunting him just because, like, I just wanted him to, like, fight me, just get it over with, just because, like, I couldn't take it anymore, right?
yeah.
A person can only take so much physical, mental, and emotional abuse and manipulation. And anyways, though, I was taunting him, and then he charged me like a bull. And there's still there are the holes in the hallway. That's what those holes are from. Those are from me. It's
Damn.
from him throwing me. So
Okay.
like there is evidence that he abused me, and I had bruises all over me, but they didn't look. And this is because he knew the sheriff. Didn't he admit that he knows the sheriff? He's best friends with the sheriff. That he used the sheriff to illegally put a charge on me.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know it at the time that he was friends with the sheriff.
Well, I
That
know, but
was
that's what
afterwards.
happened.
That is what happened.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he lied to you about the court date so that you wouldn't be contrary to his lies. So he's
Yeah.
able to lie in court with no one there to back it up.
Right.
It was like a kangaroo court. They predetermined that I was guilty.
Well, he didn't really lie about the date. I have to clarify that. He told me it wasn't important. I was hurting real bad. My nerves were
It was
shot.
important. There was no one there to contrary what he said.
Yeah.
And he lied. He cried on cue.
Right.
He's never cried around us before. Not in 30 years have I seen him cry. And he cried on cue and he lied. He lied in court. He said he tried to do everything that we could, that, oh, it's all my fault, and that I need help and this and that. And all of
Yeah.
this was to put a charge on me so that I couldn't get a job. Even if there is a job I could work, I can't get it because of that charge. It makes me
Yeah.
look bad,
Right.
even though it was in self defense. Like, I'm supposed to let someone strangle me, and then
Mm-hmm.
what? Be innocent only until I'm dead,
Yeah.
right? Have to
Right.
die in order to prove innocent. Like that is
Right.
such bullshit. Like everything was against me. Like
Well.
everyone predetermined that I was the bad guy and guilty, and people were saying I was wicked and
Mm-hmm.
this and that. And it's like you've seen him hit me in the head before, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I just sat there taking it like a punching bag.
God, that's ridiculous. An older man treating you like that.
Yeah. And I can't do
Anything.
anything because he controls our finances and everything.
Well, and two, while he was strangling you, if you didn't fight back, I was in another room. I was in my bedroom, and nobody else was in the house. I mean, he would have gotten away with it.
Yep.
You know. This is what I saw when got to the door. I saw David pinning you down. I couldn't see you, but I could hear you saying you couldn't breathe. And um, I saw David's big body over you, holding you down against the wall or door. And he realized I was there. He released his hold on you and turned around and smiled this huge false smile, this grin like the Joker from the movies. It wasn't genuine. It was not sincere. It was just a big grin, like, see what I did. Um, that's what it looked to me anyway. I have no idea why he was smiling. There was nothing to smile about. And, he, and then he turned around and uh, the cops had come, and when they came in, they started asking me questions and asked me if I saw the whole thing, and I said no, I didn't see all of it. And I told them, I said, they said, did they see him strangling Benjamin? I said, I couldn't see what he was doing. All I saw was his back. But I could tell that he was strangling because Ben couldn't hardly talk. He was saying, I can't breathe. And so they didn't count me as a witness. But so they want to know if you had any marks on you.
And it just happened when marks showed up when I was in jail. The marks showed up later.
Right later. You know, when they examined your neck.
That's all they examined too. They didn't examine my ribs or my back where I was thrown against the wall.
Yeah. And they couldn't see anything. They said there was nothing there.
They didn't look beyond my neck. They just looked at my neck. That's all they looked at.
Yeah. And then they looked at David, and he had scratches because you scratched him trying to get away. And because he had the scratches, you got arrested. Because you had, to them, you assaulted him.
That and his personal connection. Right. He knew the cops, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And so they arrested you and charged you with the incident because they couldn't find any evidence on you. They only looked at your neck.
They didn't count the giant holes in the walls. If you matched my back to the holes in the wall, they matched perfect.
Yeah.
There's 3 giant holes in the wall in the hallway before you get to my door. And then look at the outside of my door. There's holes on the outside of my door. Why are there holes on the outside? Because I was inside and someone was hitting the door.
And I saw David. Well, I saw David put one hole in the door. I actually saw him hit the door. And I told him, no, don't do that. You're ruining the door. And he said, what? Look at it. Look at all the holes in it anyway. I just dismissed it like, so what? You know.
I already messed it up, so what's a little bit more?
Right.
Like the holes were from him. So those are the holes he created. Well, it's full of holes, so might as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's like an appeal to appeal to futility or something. But yeah, how insane is that?
The whole thing was insane. It was so contradictory to what happened that the truth didn't really come out. You know, because they were prejudiced because he's an elderly man.
And he knows them.
And he knows them. But he's an elderly man and you were young, and in their mind, police's mind,
not disabled.
You were abusing him.
Right. I'm disabled, but because I don't look disabled and I look young, they discriminated against me. That I've been discriminated my whole life because of that, haven't I?
Exactly.
If I'm not disabled, I wouldn't have been to specialists. I wouldn't have all this proof. I even have some that are pain medicine. So I was seeing a pain specialist. You know how hard it is to see a pain specialist? How many conditions you have to have? I have fibromyalgia, arthritis, life-threatening scoliosis, hiatal hernia, you name it, I have it. But because I look young, oh, you're not sick. Even though I have all these doctor's notes, it like some people can't be reasoned with. Like, right? Like, there's never enough proof. There's never enough proof for some people. They just want an excuse not to help. I tried medicine that killed a lot of brain cells, like Lyrica, for pain relief. For pain. This is, I think, a pain specialist or a rheumatologist. Del Giudice. Yes, that was a rheumatologist. So this was prescribed by a pain specialist, a rheumatologist. Del Giudice. He's in Lubbock. So I even tried Lyrica on top of everything just because my pain is so bad. I was so sick that I had to have special medicine just to keep me from throwing up my food. Because my nausea has always been historically so bad. I had to have special medicine to stop me from throwing up my food every day. I was even prescribed migraine medicine on top of everything else, painkillers. People just take one look and say, "Oh, you're not disabled," but what about all these diagnoses? What about all the doctor's notes I have? Right? What about my rich medical?
They
I was
say, well, you
taking,
don't look sick.
right.
Yeah,
Well, illnesses don't discriminate. Humans do.
yeah.
Illnesses aren't bigots. That's bigotry. It's like, oh, in your vast experience of illnesses, you know everything, huh? You know all of the illnesses.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know what Ehlers-Danlos is. And let's talk about Ehlers-Danlos. How many dislocations I've had throughout the years.
Oh my gosh, it was scary because you'd go to bed and sometimes if you turn in your bed, you dislocate your shoulder or your knee would dislocate or it was horrible.
It was traumatic, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very traumatic. You're afraid to go to sleep because when you turn or move in your bed, you didn't know which joint was going to go out of place.
Yeah. And see, I told them my illnesses, and they ignored me. They abused me in there because I was sleeping on concrete, flat concrete, no nothing, just concrete floor. That's what I slept on, and I was covered head to toe in bruises.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the people that work in there are calling me names.
Wow. Yeah.
The employees were calling me names.
My God. That's ridiculous. An adult, a grown person behaving that way.
Right? It's childish.
They're the sick ones.
Right? You'd have to be sick to take the abuser's side.
Yeah. Because everyone needs to be treated with respect, and they're not the judge. They go around judging you, but
right.
They're not the judge.
And well, let's talk about the judge. He knew the judge. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know he knew the judge.
Yeah, he knows the judge. They were like on a first name basis, and they recorded it, so there is video evidence of it. Yeah. And like I was just holding back my anger the entire time, and I was like, well, it doesn't matter what I'm going to say. You've already made up your mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
I literally said that.
They did. That's true.
Yep. I wasn't allowed a lawyer. I wasn't allowed representation.
Yeah.
Everything was you're guilty before you're guilty instantly. No, there's no due process.
Wow. Yeah, because they said it's not a trial. You don't need an attorney. Yeah, but it was in effect a judgment, so you did need representation.
Yeah, it's a charge that he falsely put on there. And then let's talk about the email again. What about that email where he threatens conspiracy? He literally conspires to put me in a mental facility for talking about this.
Right. Yeah.
And he even admits to using his personal connection, sheriff.
Wow. God.
So, and they already talked about it. They said, oh yeah, I'll help you file whatever and lock him up.
Right. They did.
Well, no. This was after I went to jail.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's what they said.
Well, yeah, that's what they said. They didn't do it yet, but for talking about the abuse on my channel.
I'm just saying that's what they said.
And I didn't use his last name. His last name is censored. There's a million people named David. See, I'll show you. See, meanwhile, this is what he spent all that money on. Instead of getting you the surgery, never picking up after his cats. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. That is like hair and shit. Look at that. This is multiple years that he's been in here and checked on her. And then he ignores her when she gets help. See? And then he rubs it in her face by showing these like hundreds of dollars of 3 monitors that he spent the 10 grand on. He spent it all on racing shit for him and his son that he named the same name after because he's such a fucking narcissist. This guy is a psycho. I mean, look at this. And he left that poop there knowing when he left. So he knew. He literally rubbed in our faces that, well, look, I don't even take care of my cat.
Okay, well, he's gone. I don't see him anymore.
Right?
I'm disgusted with him.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Look at this. There's cat shit everywhere that I've stepped in. He hasn't cleaned this shit ever. Look at all that. Look at all that hair. That's literally a mound of hair. What the fuck? This guy is sadistic. He pees in bottles. He can't even pick up the shit after his cats. And now he stole my mom's fucking portable potty. Oh, here it is. God damn. This is... Look what he did to it. Did he break it? I think he broke it. It's literally in pieces. I think he broke it. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Only he knows who it is if he's watching my videos. And he stalked my channel. Did you know he stalked my channel using fake accounts?
God almighty. Oh my gosh.
He said that I recorded you without your consent and all this bullshit, spreading rumors.
Well, he thinks I don't have a mind of my own.
That's because you contradict his lie. So he has to dismiss you. That's the easiest way for abusers, is they just say you're crazy or they dismiss you, right?
Or they think you brainwashed me or something.
And it's like, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. Like, what are you talking about?
We're always arguing.
Right?
I know.
If I was brainwashing you, you'd just be saying yes to everything I say.
Yeah, I'll be a robot.
Right? You've changed my perspective on certain things.
We don't see eye to eye, but we respect each other.
Right. I love you.
Love you too, baby.
He would use his personal connection with the sheriff to lie and say, oh, I attacked him, and this... He attacked me first. He charged me like a bull. I still have trauma and cold sweats. And aren't I screaming in my sleep a lot?
Oh my gosh, yes. I get up and go see about you when I hear you hollering and screaming. Because I have flashbacks.
Yeah, so I have CPTSD from his abuse. And like there's a whole bunch of it's been going on for 30 years. It's not simple. Like he's an actual malignant narcissist that has controlled me my entire life.
Because he doesn't get along with you. He doesn't agree with
because
anything.
I can't. He's hated me since I was a kid, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been jealous. Yes, he's been jealous of our relationship.
Our mother-son relationship.
Right. Yes, he was jealous of that.
Because he wanted you all to himself and no one else.
Yeah.
And everything was in his name. Your phone, your emails, everything was under his name. He had complete control over our lives. And we tried telling family, didn't we?
About it.
Abuse for years. Didn't I try telling people for years?
Yes.
I tried telling it to people, and then I got called a narcissist for talking about how I'm being abused. And then my brothers saying that, oh, I don't know what abuse is because mom was abused. So they use your abuse to discredit my abuse. The abuse that you endured when you were a child, as if that's only one person can be abused.
Oh,
that's so abusive, isn't it?
Oh, no, but it's just that they didn't understand.
Well, they didn't care to understand. They wouldn't let me explain anything. When you're sitting there trying to explain something and no one lets you, and then they just call you names and stuff, that's not a support system, that's an abuse system. So I've been abused by my brothers too. They wouldn't listen about the abuse. They weren't there for me. They were never there for me. They don't know what schools I went to. They don't know anything about me.
I know that they...
Everyone in this family just loves Their form of love is complete control. If I help you financially, I have say in what you do and say.
Control.
Yep, that's all it is. It's control.
Well, yeah. Um, I can't say because I don't know. I would like to hear their
Well,
stories.
that
You know.
they won't engage in good faith. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I call out their abuse, and they call me calling out their abuse. So for me
Mm-hmm.
pointing out how they're being abuseful, they label that abuse. If I say something
Mm-hmm.
is narcissistic abuse, they say I'm calling them a narcissist, even though that's not what I said. Narcissistic abuse doesn't mean someone's a narcissist. You can use narcissistic abuse without being a narcissist. Like there's these
Yeah.
distinctions they don't even make, and they gaslight everything. And they gaslight about gaslighting. They say, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's not gaslighting." And it's like, "Yeah, it is. You're telling me I didn't go through something that I did. That's gaslighting."
Well, I'm not going to talk about your brotherly associations. I thought we were talking about David.
What's about it all? How we got here.
Yeah.
I
How we
it's
got
about me
here.
not having any support, the entire family abusing me. It's about the entire family abusing me to this point. How I got here. It's about how I got here.
Yeah, because nobody listened to you.
Yeah, because no one listened to me about the abuse.
Right.
Except for you, because you were the one watching it. And then they
Mm-hmm.
gaslight you and call you a liar indirectly because you say you were there backing me up, and because you back me up, they
Yeah.
they say they say that, oh, you're
I
just,
manipulated.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. It's like you would do this, you would die for any of your children.
That's right.
I'm just the only one that needs saving.
Right. Yes, if it was one of them in the situation, I'd go all the way with it for them. Yeah.
And that's something they can't even make, is that like they don't need help.
Yeah.
They've been given everything their entire life on a silver platter.
No, they
No,
haven't.
they their abilities is a silver platter. Being
Oh.
able to code and get and go to school and graduate, that's a privilege that they don't acknowledge. That's a privilege. I
Okay.
can't do that.
You have to clarify it when you say something like that because there's too many different ways that they can be
Well, see,
taken.
that's what I'm saying. Everyone takes their own interpretation instead of
Yeah.
asking.
Right.
They don't ask questions. They just
Yeah.
assert, "Oh, this is what you believe. This is what you said." And it's like, "No, that's not what I said, and that's not what I meant." Because they don't ask. They never
Yeah.
asked it. That's why they know I went to school for autism,
Right.
because he never asked. He never cared to ask.
Yeah.
They never made a time or effort.
Yeah.
And everything I tried to do, wouldn't. They tell me that I couldn't do it, and then they would
Mm.
tell me I could do things I couldn't because they could, like
But they
math.
did it in love.
It
They
does,
did.
mom. It doesn't matter. It's abusive.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Just because it's not intentional doesn't mean it's not abuse. You
Okay,
can subconsciously abuse someone.
I see. Yeah.
You can abuse someone without realizing you're abusing them.
Yeah.
So they would tell me that I couldn't do things I could, and then I could do things that I couldn't because they could. Even though I have learning disabilities that prevent math.
There's just so much to this that I understand that I understand everything that you're saying, but most people don't. But it's the long term abuse, living through this for the 30 years has made you the person that you are today. And I'm very sorry because I didn't see it. For a long time, I didn't even see it. And I wanted a family unit where everybody loved each other and supported each other so badly that I think I blinded myself to a lot of it. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, because you were taking David's side when he was abusing me.
And but I kept thinking, you know, he wouldn't do that, you know. I thought, how could he do that, you know? But
You didn't
I
understand
did,
how
no,
abusive people are.
I didn't understand how that could happen, but, and why it would happen. Um, I just, my eyes were opened late, and I'm very sorry for that. I just wish I could go back in time and change everything for you. And
And I have BPD from the abuse, and it's like that's like very rare and developed from extreme abuse. Like people with BPD
yeah,
are victims.
yeah,
And so it's like, like we're not even allowed to have responses to 30 years of abuse. Like,
yeah,
if you have like outbursts or anything like that, oh well then you're a bad person because you had an
yeah,
outburst in the privacy of your home.
yeah. And, there's so there are too many emotions involved to just be quiet and be still.
Yeah,
You know, it's you explode after a time.
exactly. It builds up.
Yes.
And then I'm blamed for having a response to all of that, right?